Hey everyone, Kevin here once again with my 1, 2, 3 cents. I want to talk about WrestleMania 28 and the perceived main event of John Cena versus The Rock, and the WWE touting this as the biggest WrestleMania main event of all time. And while I do think it is a huge main event, I don't think it's the biggest of all time, and let me explain. The thing I do like about Cena versus The Rock is the fact that it's never happened before. One of my pet peeves about WrestleMania, especially the main event, is when we have matches that we've already seen before. For example, The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, Triple H versus The Undertaker, which we've seen now. This will be the third time at a WrestleMania. The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I know in this day and age, it's hard to not have those kind of matches where we've already seen them before, because you've got 2 hours of Raw every week, 2 hours of SmackDown. One time Superstars was on, and then monthly pay-per-views. So it's hard to have original matches that we haven't seen before on the grandest stage of them all. That's why I put matches like Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan up there high on my list of the biggest WrestleMania main events. And I know that Hogan and Andre had fought before in the early 80s, leading up to before they both signed with the WWF. Or when they were in the WWF in the early days. But Hogan and Andre back in '87 at WrestleMania 3 had a whole different feel to it. Andre was the heel, Hogan was the champion, and that was kind of the torch passing moment at that point, even though Hogan had already kind of had a firm grip on the torch, so to speak. Another huge main event in my mind was Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior. Now, I know that these two didn't go out there and do a big scientific type of matchup or anything by any means, but on paper it was huge. It was the Intercontinental Champion versus the World Heavyweight Champion. It was the first time WrestleMania had featured a match like that. It was two baby faces going at it, and it was another case of the torch being passed along. And we can argue later about what happened in the years that followed that moment, but it was a big match. It was a big deal, and it was something that we hadn't seen before either. Another one, obviously, Hulk Hogan versus The Rock. Although I think that match came probably about 10 or 15 years too late. Hogan was clearly past his prime and definitely passed the torch on to The Rock. I like this Rock versus John Cena match, though, too, because The Rock is still in great shape. He may be near 40 years old, but he looks great, and from what we saw at Survivor Series, can still get in there and do his thing. So it'll be a great match. It'll be a huge matchup. Other big WrestleMania matchups that I hold in high regard: Randy Savage versus Ric Flair. That had never been done before. It was kind of a dream match, seeing the guy from the other promotion coming in. So yeah, I want to know what you guys think as well. I'm kind of running short on time here, but let me know what you think. What are some big WrestleMania main event matches that you have enjoyed? And let me know. Be sure to subscribe to my 1, 2, 3 cents.